What's good, guys? It's your boy Nico Talks Football, back with another video. Today in this video I'm going to be talking about Barcelona's recent injuries, especially the ones with Joan Garcia and Raphinha. As of right now, Barcelona have picked up new injuries. It's been confirmed that Joan Garcia has torn his meniscus and he underwent surgery to repair the meniscus, and he's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. And Raphinha has a right hamstring strain in the femoral biceps muscle, so he's going to be out for 3 weeks. And this adds on to the other injuries that Barcelona have. Obviously, we know Gavi's out for 4 to 5 months after also a torn meniscus. He had surgery on that too. But since Joan Garcia was just an arthroscopic surgery, he's only going to be out for 4 to 6, whereas Gavi was a full repair, so he's going to be out for 4 to 6 months instead of weeks. And then obviously Fermin Lopez has a groin strain or an adductor problem, so he's going to be out for 3 weeks. And yeah, as of right now, Fermin Lopez, Raphinha, Joan Garcia, and Gavi are all out for the foreseeable future. So I don't know how Barcelona's going to perform with these injuries, but we have some really big games coming up, and I'm just going to talk about what Barcelona can possibly do with these injuries that they just received, especially the new ones with Joan Garcia and Raphinha, which are not going to be available for the next month. Alright, starting with Joan Garcia, I think Joan Garcia is probably the most, the loss that Barcelona is that they're gonna see the most, because he's a very important player, and we don't really have a lot of depth in that position. Szczesny isn't really a great keeper from last year, but he's okay, but he's not Joan Garcia. And another thing, Joan Garcia has really been saving. He's been making a lot of good saves this year, and he's kept us in a lot of games, especially the game against Vallecano. Joan Garcia was the most important player, and he helped us pick up a point in that game. And in the other games, he's also been very important. So to lose Joan Garcia, especially in the game that is coming up against PSG, is going to hurt us a lot, I think. But we'll see what Szczesny's going to do. As for Raphinha, I think Raphinha is also a very big loss. Maybe not as big as Joan Garcia, because we have more depth. We have Rashford and Rooney Bargi who can play in those positions, and even Ferran Torres can play as a winger. And Rashford has actually been performing very well. But obviously with Raphinha, you lose a lot. You lose a lot of the runs in behind, the defensive work, the finishing, the goals and assists, obviously. So it's a big loss, but I don't really know how we're gonna see tomorrow in the game against Sociedad how Barcelona reacts. The Sociedad game, Barcelona can win without Joan Garcia and Raphinha, but the biggest game that is really going to be tested with these injuries is the PSG game, obviously next Wednesday, because without these players, we're really going to see how good Barcelona's squad depth is. So how I think Barcelona should line up now without Joan Garcia and Raphinha: obviously Szczesny in goal. We stick with the same back four. In the midfield, also don't forget, we also don't have Fermin Lopez and Gavi. So in the midfield, I think it should obviously be Pedri and De Jong. And also Casado has reports today. Casado has also picked up a knock, a little injury. I don't know how serious it is, but they did say it wasn't serious, but we don't know yet. So I would start Pedri and De Jong in the midfield, and then in the attacking midfield, Dani Olmo, because he's really the only option we have, because Fermin Lopez is injured. On the left, Marcus Rashford, Lamine Yamal on the right, and on striker, in the striker position, Ferran Torres. I still think that is a very strong lineup, but obviously Joan Garcia and Raphinha, without them, is a big loss. But I think Barcelona can still win a lot of games until they're back. Now I'm going to highlight specifically which games they're going to miss. Joan Garcia is out for 4 to 6 weeks, which means he's going to be out. He's going to miss the Real Sociedad game this weekend, the PSG game, the Sevilla game, the Girona game, and the El Clasico against Madrid. And then I don't know that, but I can for a fact he's missing up until the Clasico, including the Clasico. Joan Garcia is not making the game against Real Madrid. That is 4 weeks away, and the minimum requirement for Joan Garcia to be back is 4 weeks. But we obviously know the meniscus is not an easy injury, so he's not going to be back in 4 weeks. More like maybe 6 weeks he's going to be back. So I can already rule out Joan Garcia for the El Clasico. As for Raphinha is going to be out for the game this weekend against Sociedad. The PSG game, which is a big loss. That Raphinha against PSG always does good. Big loss there. And then the Sevilla game. And then maybe the Girona game after the international break. But the target return for Raphinha is the game against Girona after the international break, around the 17th of October. That is what Raphinha is aiming for, to come back. So obviously Barcelona squad now, a lot of injuries. We've 4 players out injured, and we don't know who else. Maybe other players are gonna. The good news is though, Lamine Yamal and Alejandro Balde is back. They are both back from their injuries, so those are big wins for Barcelona. Getting back Alejandro Balde is so important for Barcelona because Gerard Martin is not a great player. So Barcelona getting back Alejandro Balde is going to be so important for the PSG game. And then obviously Lamine Yamal, one of the best players in the world. We're going to need him in that PSG game. So them two coming back makes up for the losses that Barcelona have. So overall, I think it's going to be tough for Barcelona. But if we can override this stretch of games without Raphinha, Joan Garcia, Fermin Lopez, and Gavi's going to be out for much longer. But if we can kind of ride out this month without those players and pick up like a couple draws but mostly wins, we're going to be just fine, because once those players come back and we have a good squad again, we can start again where we left off. So that is pretty much it for the video today. I just wanted to say what's next for Barcelona with these injuries. Obviously, we still have a lot of depth in the positions, so Barcelona is going to be just fine. Only the PSG game I'm really worried about, but don't forget, PSG also have injuries. Dembele is out injured, Doué is out injured, and today, Kvaratskhelia and Vitinha both left the game for PSG injured, and also João Neves is uncertain. So a lot of injuries on both sides, so it is going to be an even game. But until then, I'll see you guys maybe after the game tomorrow against Sociedad, and then to preview the PSG game. But until then, Nico out.